But I want to go back to something again for listeners to really use as valuable piece of tip. You mentioned 15 slots. So there are 15 slots that can have user-generated content, videos.
Yeah, that seems to be that's the amount that they show at any given time. So anybody else that submits a video after that, it's just not visible.
So
But
you have to scroll. You have to
what
scroll.
you can't even scroll. That's all they show. But the reason, and Amazon is not clear on how this works. This is just purely me guessing at what I'm about to say. I'm basing this off of 15 years on Amazon. I've seen all their programs roll out. They seem to have a system for how they do this. Right now it's very, very wild west on how those videos are going up there and what's put. It's kind of like first come, first serve to fill the slots. But it does seem that they're moving towards maybe a new time where, and this would make sense. Think about this with me. If there's 15 videos up there and one of them Amazon sees every time somebody watches it, it results in a conversion. Mm-hmm. Amazon seems to be moving those videos up to the top. So those are the primo placements. So I think we see a time where all of what's shown in the slot, even if you get 15 people to add a video, if somebody else adds a video on there and maybe it's final slot 15 and it does well, I see them bumping something out of that 15 and introducing maybe something newer that is doing well, like maybe the equivalent of an upvote on a review, as we know it. I see that happening. Pure guess on my part for that, but it does seem apparent, and at the end, it would make a ton of sense, I think.
Okay. So the bottom line, it is going to benefit you, your product detail page, if you have 15 videos, user-generated content videos. Those 15 could be the 15 that you picked by bringing other influencers, or you simply do nothing and wait for influencers to pick up your listing to create videos for, or do nothing and the influencers do nothing, then you are a sitting duck for somebody to target you. And if you, and of course, who's going to target you, Carlos? If you are doing well, they're going to target you. If you're not doing well, they're not going to target you, right? Because it doesn't matter. So if you're doing well, you really cannot afford to be a sitting duck for somebody to, put negative videos, and they're going to. So this is an interesting thing. So what you are saying is, for brands, be aware, fill up the 15, otherwise somebody else will. And then you have no control over it. The second thing is, brands, sellers, if you want a side hustle, sign up as an influencer, as a creator, then you are going to find some sellers will approach you just to create negative review, and they'll pay you for it. And then that will fill up their competition's pages. So that's really what it is. Wow. Listen, there's always, there's always a good way. Like everybody's talking about AI now, right? So we are all talking about, this makes life so easy. We don't have to write content. We can do this, we can do that. It's making lives easy. And of course, some jobs are being lost in the process, but overall, there's benefit. And then there's a bunch of guys thinking, how can we do the evil thing? So this is the evil aspect of the influencer program.
Yeah, it's a sad reality, but the only way to avoid it is, don't
defense. So let me also tell you this. So this is along the same lines of what you're suggesting, not necessarily about influencer program, but we had a presentation with one of the Amazon advertising team members, and she was going through different campaign types, the sponsored brand, sponsored display, blah, blah. So what she suggested was, you should run a defensive sponsored display campaign by putting banners or
We do.
links, whatever, on your own product detail page. Because if
Absolutely.
you don't, your competition will advertise on your page, and I'm sure people have seen. So it's the same kind of thing. So it's not necessarily, hiring influencers to write negative review, but sponsored display campaigns also serve the purpose of running defensive campaigns as well as promotional campaigns. And the defensive campaigns are all about filling up the slots available with your own stuff so that your competition cannot. And
100%.
this is exactly the same. Exactly the same.
Kind of in the same vein, but a little bit of a detour. And then I don't know, I could keep going on this topic.